They asked, "Do you come in peace?" Samuel said, "Yes, in peace. I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Consecrate yourselves and come to the sacrifice with me." Then he consecrated Jesse and his sons and invited them to sacrifice. When they arrived, Samuel saw Eliab and thought, "Surely the Lord's anointed stands here before the Lord." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Then Jesse called Abinadab and had him pass in front of Samuel. But Samuel said, "The Lord has not chosen this one either." Jesse then had Shammah pass by. But Samuel said, nor has the Lord chosen this one." Jesse had 7 of his sons pass before Samuel. But Samuel said to him, "The Lord has not chosen this." So he asked Jesse, "Are these all the sons you have?" He replied, "There is still the youngest, just he is tending the sheep." Samuel said, "Send him for me. I will not sit down until he arrives." So he sent for him and had him brought in. He was glowing with healthy and a fine appearance and handsome features. Then the Lord said, "Rise and anoint him. This is the one." So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the presence of his brothers. From that day, the Spirit of the Lord came powerful upon David. Then Samuel went back to Rome. So, here we are looking at David as a young boy, as a shepherd. The lessons we learn from here, God looks at the heart, not the outward appearance. When Samuel was sent to anoint the king of Israel, he thought Eliab, because he was muscular, he was handsome, tall, so he thought the first son was to be anointed. No, it wasn't like that. It was to be David because he was chosen by God. You get me? So when God selects you from anywhere, he doesn't look at the outside appearance. He looks at the heart. So in this chapter, it teaches the importance of the inner character over external looks and status. Another thing, God chooses whom he wills. David was the youngest and the least likely in the family. This emphasizes that God uses the least expected people to fulfill his promise. You can be there. Let me say, you feel inferior. Okay, you're having some other people with big positions, then you feel inferior. You think you can't do anything. But when God chooses you, just know you'll make it. When we look at David, he was the youngest. He was nothing. He was just attending to the sheep of the father. He was taken out of the jungle where he had taken the sheep, just to be anointed as the king of Israel. Another lesson is God's spirit empowers his chosen ones. After David being anointed, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. So when he was chosen, you remember when we read, rise up and anoint this one. Kitegeeza ki? Nti Mukama bw'akussaako omukono gwe, let me say, choosing from the many, the Spirit of the Lord moves with you. Choosing nti yegwe agenda obeera prophet, omwoyo omutukuvu, okay, omwoyo omutukuvu atambula nawe wherever you go, because you have to fulfill his promise, you have to do his work, so you obeera olina omwoyo omutukuvu. Another lesson, God prepares us in hidden places. When David was to be anointed, he was not for, he was deep in the jungle, so they just called him to be anointed. This reminds us that God often prepares us in quiet and hidden seasons before we step into the larger plans. Nti osobola okubeera eyo Mukama bw'aba anaakulonda. Kyobola abo abantu abasinga Mukama baaviirayo ebiseera ebisinga, they come from humble backgrounds. Omuntu abeera eno wansi ng'omulaba omunyooma, ng'omulaba ng'atalina kyali, but bw'abeera ng'aliko embala ya Katonda, Mukama amuggyayo from the least expected place. So another lesson we learned from this chapter is about God's timing is perfect. Although David was anointed as a king when he was still young, he did not immediately take the throne. He did not take the throne. Yasooka n'agenda n'abeera nga akola mu gundi ya Saul, ng'ali mu palace, nga already he's the anointed king of Israel. So this verse teaches us to be patient. Singa David at the time, because before this chapter, it was King Saul, misbehaving towards the Lord, ne Holy Spirit namuvamu. So omwoyo omutukuvu bwe yava mu King Saul n'adda ku David. That is when David was anointed as the king of Israel, but was still young. So he went to the palace, started doing God's work, but he wasn't the king at the moment. Then after some time, ng'ali patient, Mukama n'ambeererawo n'afuuka king. So that is the end of our sermon. I have a friend here. We have a song. Please come over. I think we can take the second, the two stanzas.
Yeah, come.
It is online. It is 198, English version. I'll come up with it. Still more there. How can it be that I should get praise in the Savior's life? Died for me, who caused his fate, for me, whom him to death pursued. Amazing love, how can it be? The love of my God should die for me. Amazing love, how can mercy, oh, immense and free. Oh, my God, before them come, amazing grace, how can it be? Never my God should die for me. No, my prison spirit lay, was bound in sin and nature's life. Thy refuge, a breaking rain, I woke the dungeon's flames with light. My chest opened, my heart was free. I went forth and followed thee. Amazing grace, how can it be that my Lord should die for me? Amina.
Why be a goat? We can all raise up for a closing prayer. Precious, you're going to give us a closing prayer.
Master Jesus, I cannot bear my burdens alone. I must tell Jesus, I must tell Jesus, Jesus come for me, Jesus alone.
Father, in the name of Jesus, bless the word. Thank you for the day, for everything that is going to transpire. We believe that your Holy Spirit is against us. Come and take control as we take on this day. We invite you, O Lord Jehovah there, come and lead us, come and speak with us, come give us guidance. Enable our company to flourish and make us whole. Worship and adore you, bless your name, because we know with you, Jehovah there, and there's nothing impossible. Reign and take control. We pray all this feeling and trust in Jesus' name. Amen.
Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses,